Hi, this is Julie at So Weird Designs, and today we are making the little ZhuZhu outfits for the ballerina ZhuZhu. To start with, what you're going to need is you're going to need to cut out of a tulle or organza one piece that is 4 inches by 1 inch, and then 6 pieces that are 5 inches by 5 inches. A water-soluble stabilizer, this is Vilene, and put it on your machine. Okay, we finished the leaves and the roses. As you can see, we have some running stitches between here and here. I did that so that your machine doesn't stop and you can just continually sew, but these will be cut off when you rinse out the stabilizer. The next we're going to sew is we're going to start on the crown. So at this time, you may want to change your bobbin thread to match your top thread. Alright, your machine is going to sew one running stitch, and what this is this is just going to show you where to put the 1x4 piece of tulle. You want to center it right on that line and just take a little bit of tape to hold it down, and then sew the next section. The next line that you sewed is going to be just a little bit below the top line. I should put it that way. Is sewed right here, the little bit with all that's showing you where to fold the fabric over in half. This is creating the casing for the crown. Tape it down again and put it back on your machine to sew the next line, which is going to sew this down. Okay, we sewed the next one, which is holding down the fabric. So at this time we can remove the tape and trim the tulle close to the edges. So you trim it close to the edge. But when we rinse out our stabilizer, we can remove this stitching. Created a casing that our elastic is going to go through for the crown. Next we're going to start on the skirt. The skirt's done in 6 sections so that it could fit on the 4x4 frame. At this time you can change your thread back to a color that matches your tulle that you're going to be using. If you are using a fancy metallic thread like me, that would be a good idea since the thread is really difficult to work with. We have the tulle sewn out. We have the placement line sewn out. We're going to start at the bottom one and work our way up. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to take one of your pieces of 5x5 tulle, just center it, eyeball center it on the bottom line, and then tape it into the hoop so it lays flat. Then sew the next stitch. Alright, we have all the tutu parts sewn out. So at this time we're going to remove the design from the hoop and we're going to cut, and this is the time when you're going to want to trim the sides so that they'll all be even. Remove as much of the stabilizer as possible. Once you get most of the stabilizer cut away from it, what you're going to want to do is you're going to stack up each section of the tutu so that the tops line up to trim the bottom so that they're all the same size. The reason why I do this before I rinse is because it's much easier to line them up and hold them with the stabilizer still on the top. We have our crown rinsed out and ready to go. So what you do is you take a 6-inch piece of 1/8 inch wide elastic, run it through the casing. You can use a safety pin to guide you if it doesn't go easily. And then join the ends and just run a couple of stitches with needle and thread to secure it in place. Then all you do is you place it on the ZhuZhu hamster. Now we have our 6 pieces, sections of for the tool for the tutu, and we have our 5 roses. You take a 6-inch piece of 8-inch wide elastic and you start threading the tutus section by section onto the elastic. And when you get your last section of the tutu drawn through, using a needle and thread, you sew the 2 together. Now to place on the roses. Put 3 sections on one side of where you did your stitching, and then 3 on the other side. Fold in half to find the centers on the sides. You're going to want to put a rose there and a rose on the other side so that the tutu doesn't go all the way around, and it will hold that in place. Sew your next one in the center, and then the last 2 between the outside and the center. And there we have it. We have our tutu, or the ZhuZhu hamster. Isn't she cute? And then all of our elastic is on the bottom that clears the wheels and the center.